No, I haven't seen it. Honestly, until you just said the kicker, I was like, who is Harrison Butker? But now I understand. I thought I was like you were talking about somebody completely different, but
Yeah.
not the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. I have not seen this.
Yeah, so he gave this speech recently as a commencement speaker, and usually you have commencement speakers who are maybe celebrities. They'll give a funny speech. They'll give an inspiring one, life experiences, stuff like that. I remember our speaker wasn't a celebrity, but motivating things for the future generations, for their accomplishments, going through 18 years of school, 4 years of college, maybe five, for all this stuff. That's what the commencement speaker should do. What Harrison Butker did was the complete opposite in my eyes, and probably the eyes of almost everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode number Henrik Lundqvist,
Let's
episode number
go.
30. How are we doing today, Carl?
Dude, we are doing great, man. Dude, so happy to see that we're both repping our New York, baby. Currently right now, as we're recording this, we are in the middle of two amazing
Mm-hmm.
playoff series, round twos for both teams. Super excited. We won't touch on it much
Yep.
because they are currently playing as we're recording this, but we just would like to say, let's go Knicks and let's go Rangers.
Yeah, and hopefully as this drops, the Rangers won last night, and the Knicks win tonight, or else we'll have two game sevens this weekend. I don't think we'll last, but enough about
Yeah.
that. Carl, how about we talk about this episode and let all the listeners know what we got planned?
Yeah, guys, we got a good episode planned for you guys. A little lighthearted and a fun game at the end. So first off, we're gonna start again with our two-man thought of the week. Tyler is going to tell us about the lovely, amazing portals that are happening in downtown New York and
Yep.
downtown Dublin. So that should be a great two-man thought to hear. Then next up, we have a commencement speech by Harrison Butker, right? Is that how you say his name?
That's how you say
All
it.
right, yeah, Harrison Butker. And then finally, right after that, or not finally, after that, we have a couple of Marvel announcements about TV shows that are coming out. So not
Yep.
only are we getting Deadpool and Wolverine in July, but we're also getting a couple of release dates for upcoming TV shows. And then finally, we have a hypothetical question that Tyler does not want to tell me, but I think it is sports related. So we will
Yes.
find out about that. And then finally, we have a game at the end for all of you guys. And if you guys are into baseball and you like some sports, it should be a really good one. Definitely one of the most out there and exciting ones we've done so far.
Yep.
So, Tyler, how about you start us off with the two-man thought of the week?
Absolutely. I would love to. And this is something you said you kind of saw, but for all
Yes,
the listeners
exactly.
who haven't seen on TikTok, basically, it's supposed to be an art piece, but they created this portal looking thing. It's like Doctor Strange endgame
That
portals,
ass.
like in
That
the
ass.
city. And it's basically a live feed FaceTime between New York City and Dublin, Ireland. And it's pretty cool, honestly. The premise was there, but like society does with most things, can't have nice things, and it was quickly ruined. The one video I did see, Dublin was kind of throwing some shade at New York City, and all of a sudden you see the live feed from Dublin, from New York's end, and a phone raises, and it's a picture of a plane hitting the Twin Towers back on September 11th, 2001. And quickly, you could see that this portal idea went from very cool to very bad so quickly. And I didn't see it coming, but I'm not too shocked, honestly.
Dude, what's so crazy about that is that it literally is just like the epitome of just like people, like
Yeah.
just whatever they possibly can do. And like what's so funny about that is like if he was in New York, there's no shot in hell he's like putting that up. But just
No,
because
no.
it's that was literally like a keyboard warrior in real
Yeah,
time, just
absolutely.
in video form.
Yeah.
So, so I thought that I saw that's the one I did see, which I
Yeah.
thought was freaking
Dude, and
crazy.
hearing just all the reactions is so funny too, because you just see, the phone. You don't even see who's holding it, obviously, but you see the phone come out from underneath the picture, and then you just see everyone in the background going, "Oh, oh my God!" Like just like absolutely shocked because they didn't see it coming. Um, yeah, not a great look. Hopefully, people on Dublin's side took care of that and found whoever did that. Because although it was many years ago, we will never forget.
Yeah,
Um,
never forget. That's messed
but
up,
I
man.
that was like I saw that one. I saw some girl, I believe, on the Dublin side also flashed everybody. Believe she
Ah,
pulled up her
that's
top.
awesome.
I
That's
s-
awesome.
I saw also someone else held up their phone on the Dublin side saying like "Rip Pop Smoke" because Pop Smoke was a big New
I
York
did see
City
that.
guy.
I did see that.
Those and then I think someone got arrested on the Dublin side. I don't know if it was in relation to anything of those three acts I mentioned, but less than 72 hours, we have three pretty big storylines of things going on, and that's all I've seen so far. I haven't even looked into it; those have just popped up to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what's funny though about that is that I feel like we've only heard, or personally, I've only heard the Dublin bad things that have happened at like to New Yorkers. Can you imagine just the like homeless people like
Oh
in the
my
streets of New
God!
York? How much fun they're probably having with that.
Oh
Like
my God!
or the crackheads that are walking up to that, probably begging the people on the other side of the mural for money. I can only imagine,
Dude,
man.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you see what some of these homeless people kind of do in the city when you're just walking around. As for that
Yeah,
crowd, imagine another crowd on a portal.
that's what I'm
They're,
saying.
I didn't even think about that. That's got to be so funny too. Oh my God. I mean, they have a new audience too. They're probably so confused. They're probably
So
trying to,
confused.
people are probably, yeah, even if I was like drunk walking around through the city, I'd probably try to walk through it because it just
That's what
looks
I'm
so
saying.
futuristic.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is literally some Doctor Strange bullshit where I'm literally like going like this.
Yeah.
Dude, we should make a video like that.
Yeah.
We should
The-
go there. I'll dress up as Doctor Strange and then I'll be like, all right, Tyler, you have to fly to Dublin now. So you have to fly to Dublin.
okay.
I'll be in New York.
Yeah.
And I'll go like this. And then we'll go back in another day when you're back here in New York and then you just pretend to jump through.
Yo,
All right,
we copyrighted
break,
that, so no one can steal that idea because that's a great
break.
TikTok idea. Honestly, right before you said that though, because Dublin's cool, love to go there. But like, could you imagine like, because it seems like Dublin's throwing some shots. I don't really
Yeah.
know how to throw shots at Dublin, Ireland, someplace I've always wanted to go. But could you imagine like we could change it and kind of beef with other countries and stuff like Britain? New England, all
Dude,
not New England, England, and Britain and stuff. Like we could just go back to literally the Revolutionary War, tea bags and stuff like that, like the Boston Tea Party. We could just hold up tea
T-Bags.
bags, dude. We could literally just absolutely roast them from blowing a 13 colony lead. I want to push the idea, but I think after this has happened, I don't see them having any more portals to any other places. I don't even know if this one's gonna stay
Yeah,
for much longer.
I gotta say, the reason they probably picked Dublin was they probably thought it was the safest country to do
Hmm.
that we have the least amount of beef with.
I would say so.
But little do they know that this is creating beef, and
Yeah.
this might be the reason why we start World War III because freaking the Dublin and New York portal is just absolutely causing terror.
Could you imagine learning about the history of world wars in like 100 or hopefully longer years? It's like World War One, Archduke Franz Ferdinand shot. World War Two, why'd America get involved? Well, Pearl Harbor, tragedy. Why'd World War Three happen? Well, you see, Dublin was throwing shots at America through a virtual portal, and before you knew it, the whole world's getting blown up. Could that would be something to learn about in textbooks? Honestly, that would be a fun
Um,
one.
I also have to just stop you there. What'd you say the reasoning was for us getting into World War One?
I don't think it was us getting into World War One, but the World War One was Archduke Franz Ferdinand was shot and assassinated. He was the prime minister, president, or maybe even chancellor of some country. Austria is.
Chancellor Palpatine.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to say any more wrong things, but I did like history, and I do remember that.
No, I gotta like give you a little like pat on the back there, man. If you would have asked me what the reasoning of World War I is, I was a good
That
history buff, man. Yeah, that I would not have been able to tell you that. So
dude,
that is
I'm
impressive.
I think he was it was the powder keg of World War One was Archduke. Oh, Europe was considered the powder keg. Yeah, the Balkans. Okay, yeah, so I'm kind of on the right track, and I think it's
That
Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
that's
So,
crazy. Hey,
yeah,
man.
so
Hey, you don't just watch a two-man podcast for entertainment. You are also watching it for history here, guys.
you
You know, you learn
you,
something new.
you learn something new, and for maybe the four people who also knew that, They're like, oh, he knew. So you're welcome. But yeah, anywho, the portals. I don't know how much longer they'll stay around. I wouldn't be shocked if it's gone by the end of the month.
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of touched on it before, like why they probably picked Dublin, but I'm
Yeah,
honestly surprised that they picked Dublin, like out of all countries.
yeah,
Like, I could see them, like you said, like picking like England, like
hmm,
us doing like a London and New York, like that kind of makes sense, like two Mecca like places where people go to visit
yeah.
most of the time, you know. Um, but yeah, interesting. I mean, we'll never do Russia, I'll tell you that.
We'll never do Russia. North
Never do
Korea would
Russia.
never say yes.
North Korea definitely off the
Yeah,
table.
check
Even
it
though
off
I
the
feel
list.
like Kim Jong Un from the interview, he would definitely love that because
He would.
he's a big American guy. As long as we're
Yep.
not actually in his country, I think he might eat that up. But yeah, 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 I don't know, man. I think it's very interesting, and I'm excited to see if they, do more countries or if they're just gonna stop it completely because
Yeah,
it's just
I
causing too
didn't
much
I didn't
BS.
look into see what their original plan was with this, why Dublin and what they hope to gain. I know it wasn't this, and I'm sorry for whoever created it, and this wasn't their purpose, but I mean, coming out with some quality stories here for sure. They gained something from it at least.
Oh, I love that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But yeah, that was my little two-man thought of the week. I'm glad you kind of saw him, kind of didn't see him, because I love telling people that story. Because you guys have to look up the video on TikTok. I'm sure you all have seen it already, but it's quite the response from the people, which gets me every time. It's
No,
not.
it's just such a funny thing that they would actually, put in.
Yeah,
But
and it's like what a dig, you know? It's like how is that like the shot you throw? It's like we didn't control that. You know? Like
no, 100%.
you can
A
make
hundred
fun
percent.
of countries for maybe the food they eat, well, even the I don't know, silly things. Not that. That's not the
It's
shot
kind
you
of
throw.
it's kind of a layup though, it's
I
kind of like
mean,
they know this is gonna like they're looking for something to offend us with, and
yeah,
that's a layup, like that's gonna hit 99% of Americans, you
you're
know.
not wrong. You're not wrong.
So yeah, that's crazy.
They definitely understood the assignment on their end, and they definitely delivered. And that kind of transitions me into the next thing we wanted to talk about. And someone who didn't read the room or understand the assignment was Harrison Butker, the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Gave a commencement speech recently at a college, and I believe you haven't seen it, right, Carl?
No, I haven't seen it. Honestly, until you just said the kicker, I was like, who is Harrison Butker? But now I understand. I thought I was like you were talking about somebody completely different, but
Yeah.
not the, kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. I have not seen this.
Yeah, so he gave this speech recently as a commencement speaker, and usually you have commencement speakers who are maybe celebrities. They'll give a funny speech. They'll give an inspiring one, life experiences, stuff like that. I remember our speaker wasn't a celebrity, but motivating things for the future generations, for their accomplishments, going through 18 years of school, 4 years of college, maybe five, for all this stuff. That's what the commencement speaker should do. What Harrison Butker did was the complete opposite in my eyes, and probably the eyes of almost everybody. He got up there to give his speech, and he used his time to basically say to the woman of the crowd, the colleges have been telling you lies. These degrees you've earned, these promotions that you might get in jobs of the future, all bullshit. Uh, you are not worthy until you are married to a man and have his kids. That is basically the actual paraphrase of what he said.
What?
Yeah, I'm
This
not
is a
even kidding.
man, this is a man looking for an NFL job.
Is he a
Um,
free agent? No, he's
I
still a
don't think
chief.
he's a free agent, but
Yeah,
like you want to continue your career post
yeah,
your contract being up.
yeah. So obviously, all the TikTok videos, all of TikTok is coming for this man's head, rightfully so, because he sat there and this like 3 minute video I watched, the speech might have been longer. He basically said, your vocation and you're not meaningful in life until you marry a man and have his kids. And saying those degrees you worked for, women, the life you're planning in your head, the promotions, they're feeding you lies. And, your real purpose in life is to marry a man, have his kids, and take care of them.
I don't know if I have any words to
Yeah.
say with that besides that is just so terrible. Like,
W-
first of all, like this guy wasn't like he wasn't fact checked. Like there was no background on this guy before giving the commencement speech about what he was going to talk about.
where's the PR teams for his team, the
Yeah.
Chiefs, the college? The college has to read through
Yeah, the
these,
college has
right?
to read it before he does it. He must have just went off script. He's like, I'm going to speak my mind. This is
Yeah.
my day today to show the women of America that they are not shit, which is bullshit.
I can't believe it either. And even at one point too, as he's going through this, he um, quotes a Taylor Swift song, but he doesn't refer to her by her name. He says, "My teammate's girlfriend once said," and then says the line, which is clearly a Taylor Swift line. So everyone knows who your teammate's girlfriend is, and the fact that you won't even call her by her name is showing what he thinks about women, man. And it's like, as the speech kept going on, it just kept getting like worse and worse.
The fact that like he like used the Taylor Swift line, who is probably like the leader of like, women culture,
Yeah,
like at this point in time, and they
yeah.
don't even
Well, like
use
that's what Taylor was saying. She raised a great point before when I was talking to her about this. And she's like, what Taylor Swift just did for the Chiefs for football this last season, whether you
Yeah,
love to hate to see on
yeah,
TV, she brought, a new demographic into the sport. She raised sales, ticket sales,
yeah.
jersey sales, money, exposure, all the above. Women are in the sport. And not even like he's on a different team. Your teammate, Harrison Butker from the Chiefs, went, "Hey, Taylor Swift, I heard what you said," and basically took that and does what he does best and kicked it out of the stadium. Because I don't
He kicked it
understand
out of the
what
stadium.
he was
Nice.
thinking, man.
I see
He
what you're
hit
doing
it
there.
off the upright. Um, but yeah, no, so that's crazy. So obviously, Twitter's for his head. Everyone's complaining on Twitter. And if you look on any of their social medias for a fun nighttime or whenever you're watching this video activity, every post on their Instagram is tons of people flooding the comments. We want this guy fired. We want him released. We don't support him. I've been a Chiefs fan for this many years. You can't, because they haven't come out with a statement yet. But there's a petition going on that, as of recording, has 30,000 signatures for him to be released from the team. So we'll have to see where that goes.
30,000 is like probably like 5%, like 50% of their fan base. Now I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
Um, they have
I
a big fan
mean,
base.
yeah, I don't
But
know when the petition started, but I can only imagine as word grows of this, because there are people who somehow
I
agree with him, not
I
us,
just
but
cannot wait until we are watching Red Zone in the fall and Harrison Butker goes to make his first kick of the season
oh
and
man.
just the stats they pull up about him that day. It's definitely going to be related to this.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And it's like, he believes it and all that stuff, but it wasn't even a inspiring graduation speech. It wasn't like he motivated or told a life story. It was to just literally belittle
That's
the
crazy.
women. And it's not like he was trying to inspire the men to do that. It's not like there was any message. It was just to get
It
his
was
message
literally
across.
just to get his message out.
Yeah, so I don't know, but like I just don't understand how you stand up there. And if I was in that college, I would be like, "Oh, this is so awesome!" Like Harrison Butker, the kicker, like kind of a relevant position, even though,
It had to have been like a Kansas City or like some sort of like
yeah,
Missouri um you know, school because like that's such an odd one to do if you live in like Maine, you know what I mean?
no,
So
a hundred percent.
it has to be some people most students who are fans of this guy and just getting absolutely like just disrespected.
Yeah,
That's
and
just crazy.
I would just love to see like if people stayed for the speech, if they walked out.
They
Um,
definitely stayed there and were just like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He definitely
yes,
got booed off the stage. There was nobody clapping.
no, no shot. And I would just love to see what if the Chiefs say anything, if his team says anything. I mean, I wouldn't be completely shocked if he did get released, but also I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't either, because
He probably is not going to get released. He's too
It's
good for that
unfortunate, but
team.
there's people who
Yeah,
deal with who have domestic violence suits and just drive 150 miles per hour and they're back on the field every given Sunday.
exactly. That's
So,
why I don't think he's even going to get reprimanded for saying something like that, you know.
mhm.
It's not cancel culture enough.
Yeah, no, and especially because it sounded like at least his take sounded pretty controversial and like he had a little religious at points too. So I feel like not to this extent, but I feel like some of your teammates have to know kind of where you stand.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but
Before you even say that, he probably already has told, his teammates where he stands already.
probably, and there's other people who for some reason agree with him. I don't, you don't, but
I do not.
it's
No.
quite unfortunate. But yeah, I definitely wanted to bring that up and bring that to your and everyone's attention because
No,
I
that's
can't get it out of
crazy.
my head because it's like, how do you
I
think
wish
to
I
go up
saw
there?
that. I honestly am going to probably see it now once we
Yeah,
get off this and I go on TikTok.
yeah,
But that's just crazy.
dude,
Crazy.
I'll send it to you too, and because he also like he says like my wife's all on board with this stuff like that, and it's
Wow.
just like,
Wow.
I mean, she would have to be if he's saying stuff like that, but
I
it's
guess,
like,
yeah.
nah, it's just crazy, and I just don't know where we're gonna go from there. Um, who have been told the most diabolical lies told to you? That's how he let it off. I think it's you women who have been told the most diabolical, the most you're excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. Like it's just, he was very passionate about it
That's
for sure.
that's just so absurd, man. So
Yeah,
absurd.
no.
Yeah, I mean, the commencement speech I did see this past weekend was Jerry Seinfeld, which was really funny. He's
Yes,
great. I think
yes.
if I were going to a big school and they got Jerry Seinfeld, I think that would be one of my most favorite ones. I think he talked
Yeah.
like about I think he in one of the clips that I saw, he talked about Kramer. He
Oh,
was
jeez.
like, "Yeah, and this one time with Kramer, I'm like, dude, I would literally just start laughing just hearing you talk about Kramer."
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. Honestly, I only saw parts of his video, but obviously it was controversial, I guess. I saw some people walking out of it, but I
about
don't
Jerry
know.
Seinfeld?
Yeah, I saw some people
Oh,
walking out of it, but I
I
think,
guess I didn't see that part.
I mean, some people just don't like certain people, so
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure
I
there's
mean,
some
he's
stuff there.
definitely offended people in the past. He does
Probably.
not
He's a
give a fuck.
comedian. No
Yeah,
offense to any comedians listening, but that's pretty much the whole business.
yeah.
Um,
You
we
offend
saw
people for a living.
we saw the Tom Brady roast.
That was
They didn't hold
awesome.
back.
Oh, let's
Yeah,
fucking.
let's
We didn't
talk
even
about
talk
that.
about
Yeah,
that.
great idea.
Yeah, great idea, dude. All right, yeah. So the Tom Brady roast was absolutely amazing, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, they really just went all at him. They did not stop. Like,
no,
talk about just like every amazing comedian in the world, from Kevin Hart hosting it to what the I think her name's Nikki
Nikki Glazer,
Glazer. She
Glazer.
was
Yeah,
freaking amazing.
killed it.
She killed it. They had my boy Bert Kreischer. I freaking
Yeah,
love him, man,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah,
And dude, that so many great roasts, just like Kim Kardashian even said something which
yeah,
they were
yeah,
booing her on stage, and Netflix cut that all out, which I thought
yeah,
was hilarious.
yeah, yeah.
um but yeah, no, I thought it was really crazy. They just didn't stop. Like, Kevin Hart was dead ass going after him losing his wife to
Everyone was.
yeah, like, and I was like, wow, like, I understand it's comedy, but like, you're kind of beating a dead horse at this point. I was
Yeah,
like, this poor guy is sitting here for you, all your guys' entertainment,
yeah.
and like everyone is just shitting on this man.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
this is
I know.
crazy.
If I would have been the same as him. I saw at one point he was like double fisting cocktails, and that would have
Yeah,
been
he
me.
after everyone, he was just chugging.
Yeah, I know he got paid pretty well, apparently. I think he got paid like $15 million. dollars.
Oh, really?
That's a rumor I heard. Don't quote
I
me,
I
but
know he was producing it.
yeah, so I mean, they had a lot of his ex-teammates, and everyone delivered. And like you said, there was like 4 or 5 comedians who all talked about his family. And even on like the New Heights podcast, like Jason Kelsey was like, "I don't understand why people love roast. Like, oh, my family's falling apart. How funny,
Yeah.
ha ha ha!" Like, I mean, like I said, every clip I watched, I said, God bless Tom Brady, because I couldn't sit up there and take that. I know he had his little speech at the end and was able to say some funny jokes, but I mean, I don't know if he's ever seen a roast before, but I don't know what he expected because I think the rumor is he's now regretting it.
You think so?
I think that's what happened. I think he's regretting it because he said just the way his kids saw it and are viewing it. Because I think
Hmm.
his kids are in middle school. So could you
Yeah, so they're
imagine?
probably shitting on. So there's probably kids who are now taking those jokes that were said to Brady and using them against his kids. That makes sense.
Absolutely, especially the ones
Yeah,
like we said stupid stuff in middle school to other people, like, and we had no
yeah,
ammunition. All you have to do now is turn on Netflix, see these top of the line comedians talk about your family that's splitting up, and these kids are just like,
and you just repeat one of their
exactly,
roasts. Yeah.
just bring it right back to the kids. I think at one point they definitely talked about the kids kissing Brady on the
Mm,
mouth.
yeah, they
So
definitely
all
did multiple times. Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but there will be
for
some
the
kids
kids.
who go back to Tom Brady's kids in school and say the jokes right to him. So Tom Brady
Yeah,
definitely said he's regretting it a little bit, but
I definitely think I would regret it a little bit, but like I mean, man, like I got to tip my cap to him.
mhm,
He definitely took it like a champ
yeah,
because there was definitely some things in there that Will Smith definitely would have slapped the shit out of some people's faces for.
yeah,
So, and a lot of other people I don't think could have taken it as well as him. So, I thought it was great to see, not only were there comedians though, but just like people from his like normal lives, like
mhm,
from the football world, like Edelman, Gronk. They had Belichick get up there. I thought that was awesome to
yeah.
see. Randy
Belichick,
Moss
who,
got his moment.
yeah,
Drew Bledsoe got his moment. So that was really cool to see, man. I really enjoyed it. Um, but I actually have not sat down and watched the whole 3 hours. Have you?
no, I haven't watched the whole 3 hours. I've watched pretty much everyone's clip, and just been listening to people who have seen it. Um, I think, the only bad people I think they said were like Matt Damon was eh.
Really, which is
Um,
interesting.
yeah, and just a couple of others kind of missed the mark, but obviously I think the ones we saw were definitely the highlights. Obviously there was no holds bar between the family getting divorced, Brady cheating scandals, and obviously Aaron Hernandez made a
Yeah, a lot of
couple
Aaron
jokes in
Hernandez
there.
jokes. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
there was a
did.
few Aaron
That
Hernandez
was
jokes,
crazy.
and the one thing to come out of it was, which I did feel bad for, was Aaron Hernandez's wife or fiance, and came out and was like, "Oh, I wasn't a fan of the roast, rightfully so, because my kids, blah blah blah, will watch it." But her reasoning was kind of interesting. I wanted to see your take on this. Is her reasoning was, I don't want their idea of their father of being a hero being tainted.
Mm,
And for those who don't know Aaron Hernandez, he went to jail for murdering people.
mm.
In my eyes, I think that image of him was already a
Very
little
ruined.
tainted.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I would say my opinion on that I think is the maybe she used the wrong wording
yeah,
there. She
yeah,
probably just meant to say maybe like not brought up again. Um,
mhm,
which that would make sense because I don't think if you had something as terrible as that happen in your family, you probably wouldn't want to hear that random jabs when you're just trying to watch a random funny comedy special.
yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. But
Mhm.
yeah, hero might be a stretch. Might be
Hero
a stretch.
Hero might be a stretch, but I definitely want to go back and watch the whole thing. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's a whole 3 hour special on Netflix, and hopefully this is something they keep going. I would love to see some other players or athletes get up there.
Yeah, I think the guy who did it, I think his name was Joe something. Joe Rafael.
Who did I who?
Who was the one that said something about Robert Kraft and then like
Oh,
Brady went
Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Jeff Ross. Was I think he's like it was his idea. Like him and
Mm,
Netflix like were the ones who were like, oh, I want to do this, and they just happened to pick Brady first.
mm,
Like Brady was like, oh, like I want to be a producer on this, so they picked Brady to do first. So I think it's gonna be a whole like series that comes out, once every couple of like months, maybe a different
yeah.
celebrity or a different athlete or an actor or something like that, which I think will be
Mhm.
really cool if they end up doing.
I think so too, because I know they used to have it on like Comedy Central and stuff, and they like roasted Tom Brady, Charlie Sheen, like guys like that back then. But you can't really
Yeah.
have stuff like that on TV anymore. So I think Netflix
Yeah,
picking this
Netflix is a
up,
good place.
yeah, because then you have to pay to watch it and go out of your way to watch it. instead of it
Yeah,
being on live TV. So,
yeah.
watch at your own risk at that point.
Exactly. It's like a pay-per-view if you watch like boxing or, UFC,
Hmm.
or, WWE. It's a pay-per-view, so you know
Yeah.
that no matter it's no holds bar, they're going to say whatever the hell they want because you're paying
Yeah.
for it.
Exactly. Exactly. But I'm glad we got to talk about that.
Got to talk
Completely
about that.
forgot
Yeah.
about that. That
I completely
was
forgot about that
nuts.
too. That's awesome. It's
Yeah.
like because it happened so like recently, but it happened between the last like couple of times we've shot, so that's crazy.
Exactly. Plus, I mean, like you said, today's the first day in 11 days the Knicks or the Rangers haven't played. So we've
Yeah,
just
so
been
like my
consuming our
mind's all over the
lives.
place. Yeah, my
Yeah,
mind's all over the place. Crazy.
exactly. But, Carl, why don't we get to our next topic? I know we wanted to talk about the Marvel shows coming out.
Yes. So as of 2 days ago, I want to say Tuesday. Actually, no, not even 2 days ago. As of yesterday, but I guess 2 days from when you guys will be listening to this. Um, Marvel released three or information about three of their upcoming TV shows. So I'll start with the one that is coming out this year. So this show kind of has just been through the ringer, I would have to say.
Yeah, I'd say.
Um, yeah, I would just have to say that this movie really has um had multiple title changes and everybody was kind of like up in the air about it. They were like, what is going on? So Marvel posted this cute little like teaser thing. It's gonna be inverted for y'all, but it's basically the 4 or 5 different title changes that it had, but then finally they announced that it was going to be called Agatha all along.
Smart.
So for any of you that have watched the WandaVision series, um I thought it was kind of, very fitting that apparently they put this into their marketing, that they added so many different title changes throughout, the creative process.
Yeah.
Because during the WandaVision series, it's like there were so many smoke and mirrors between Agatha. You didn't know like what was actually
Yeah.
happening during the show until they announced it in like the second to last episode or whatever. So they announced that this show is coming out on September 18th. So relatively soon. I feel like, it's good that we haven't really been getting a lot of, Marvel stuff as to the past like 2 or 3 years. We've been so saturated
Yeah.
with Marvel stuff and they've kind of taken a step back this year. We've only really gotten a couple of things for them. Like we got What If earlier in the year.
Hmm.
And they just came out with X-Men 97, which just premiered their finale
Yep.
this past week, which again, if you guys have not watched, highly recommend. You can binge it, and I think you guys will think how I do and think how highly it is. But yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Hmm.
Tyler, I don't know if you know, but they're bringing back from the WandaVision series. They're bringing back Billy, who was
Nice.
Wanda's son, so Billy Maximoff.
Hmm.
Um, I think they're like aging him up.
Okay. Just one kid?
So
I thought you had two.
they did have two, but like the one has like powers very similar to Wanda.
Okay.
So like he's like also like considered a witch. So I think they're like keeping on the theme with Agatha being like, a witch and like Billy being a witch. They're gonna say like somehow he came back because, he's supposed to be
Sure.
gone after Wanda.
Sure.
So WandaVision. But that was really cool.
Hmm.
Um one that we were talking about before we got on air that they talked about was Daredevil Born Again,
Hmm.
which said is coming out March 2025. So it's good to have a release date for that because
Yep.
that also had a crazy kind of like process in, them, filming and having to do reshoots. So
Yeah.
initially when they announced it back in 2021, they said that it was going to be 18 episodes.
Hmm.
And then as of like 3.5, 4 months ago, they fired the whole writing team and the
Love it.
director.
Love it.
And Kevin Feige stepped in and was like, we need to redo all of it.
Yeah.
So they like kept most of the stuff that they recorded, but they're like, it just wasn't meeting the type of like, I guess, hype or the same like content that the Netflix Daredevil had, which
Yeah.
I know you watched, you thought it was great, right?
Yeah. No, it was great. So they definitely have a high pedestal to try and reach because that was just so. It was also so gruesome and so outside of
Yes.
Disney's element there, but gruesome, almost R-rated.
Yeah.
So they definitely have a lot of expectations to meet from the Marvel and especially Daredevil fans.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I mean, again, like I think Daredevil is going to be great. I mean, which is nice too is once they kind of did the whole rehaul a couple of months ago, they brought back some key characters that they weren't bringing back initially. They're bringing
Yeah,
back the same actor that played Foggy Nelson, the same
love it.
actor that played Karen Page. They're bringing back again. This is a newer one. They're bringing back the same actress that played Kingpin's wife, Vanessa. They
Oh
were
wow,
originally going to recast her, but they brought back the same actress. So it's cool because it's like kind
mm,
of like the same, I guess, universe now, like those
nice.
Netflix shows. I mean, there's gonna be a little things different here and there, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like a season 4 because we only got 3 seasons from Daredevil.
Awesome.
Um,
And Punisher's coming back too, I
and
believe, right? For that
Punisher is
series.
coming back. Yeah.
And
The
what makes me so excited for that is just I know he mentioned that he wasn't coming back unless they do it right and they do it like
yeah.
Netflix style. So to see him back means things are looking good, at
I
least on
mean,
paper.
every set photo that I've seen of just Daredevil and Punisher in the same like frame, it just looks like an album cover, dude. Like it just looks like the hardest shit possible. Like it just looks so great, dude.
Hmm.
And then so very excited for that March 2025. And then they announced another live action series in 2025, Ironheart. So for those of you who don't remember, Ironheart was um played by Monica I think her name is
You can
Monica
make up a
Th
name. I can't really help you here.
no, I have it right here. Oh, Dominique Thorne.
Close.
Yeah, Monica, not close. But her character basically is like the young Iron Man. She like is super smart using,
Hmm.
Tony Stark tech, and she was in Wakanda forever. So her series will be you know, following her and kind of I guess, um, you know, introducing different aspects of her character. Um, I'm most interested to see about that series. Two things is one in the comics, they bring back Tony Stark as an AI and kind of
Oh
mentors
wow.
her in the comics.
Okay.
So I'm very curious to see if they're going to go that route.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I would absolutely love if
Mhm.
Robert Downey Jr. signed back on for that. Obviously, it might be
Yeah.
tough to get him back, but it's an easier role to just
Yeah.
work as AI. But obviously, they can probably do easy ways to go around that. You could just have Friday, or
Exactly. I think they might go more that route, which I
probably.
think I would personally be more happy to see
Yeah,
because if Robert Downey Jr. is to come back, I want it to be in like a big way. Like I want it to
yeah.
be like some Secret War shit where the team is freaking down and out. They're all about to die, and he kind of just comes in and saves the day and like that. Like,
Yeah, I don't want him being AI in a show
yeah,
that we don't know the potential of yet. I don't want it to be
exactly.
spoiled too early if he does come back. Exactly.
Yeah. And the second one is an actor that we personally like, both of us, Anthony Ramos. I personally know him from the new Transformers movie that came out,
Hmm.
Transformers Rise of the Beast. I know you know him from Hamilton, right?
Yeah, the OG Hamilton.
Um yeah, exactly. So, he's also a New Yorker. So, he's
Love
when I
it.
go to Mets games, he's on the big screen a lot. So,
Love it.
he's gonna be playing the villain in that series. So, very, very interested to see how that kind of all plays out.
Yeah.
But again, the next thing up for us, man, is Deadpool and Wolverine, and I just cannot wait, man. I'm just so freaking excited.
I know. It's definitely exciting for those three projects you just talked about, but definitely all my hype right now is going to Deadpool and Wolverine,
Yep.
counting down the days to that. But it's good to know once that movie, which is hopefully amazing, is done. Agatha had some genius marketing, like you said,
Genius.
just throwing misdirections at what the title could be, which is basically her character. Ironheart going with an open mind. And then obviously I'm most excited just for Daredevil to come back. I'm cautiously optimistic because who knows what more, Disney and Marvel will do with it, but hopefully it's good because obviously we only got a little tease in Spider-Man. He just called a brick as a
Yeah,
lawyer. We
that
didn't
was
even see
awesome
him.
though.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. It was dope, but we didn't get to see him in his full outfit. But it was nice to know that he's coming. And he was an Echo for a little bit, so we got another little
Yeah, and he was
teaser.
also in She-Hulk, so he's been in a couple of things so far, which
Exactly.
is
So
cool.
it's finally nice to focus on his character again, see what he's been up to. So I look forward to all three of these. It's good to have release dates, and it's good that they're spread out. So it's not just every month we have new Marvel. They can have their
Yeah, man.
time to work on everything.
100%. It's good that it's not too saturated, they're not like killing the market. I feel like that's what kind of killed it a little bit because, in
Hmm.
the good times of the MCU, like the past 10 years before Endgame, it was like, all right, we'd get a movie here, we'd get a movie there, and
Yeah.
then we'd have to wait a couple of months and then we get another one.
Yeah.
Then it was like right after it felt like COVID because there wasn't so much stuff, like they had to kind of like push all those projects into one timeline.
Hmm.
And it was like, February we got this, March we got this, April we got this, and then it
Yep.
was like, all right, we had a break for 2 months. June we got another movie, and then it was
Yeah.
like November we got a movie, and then it was just like an endless cycle of just
Yeah.
us getting mediocre content.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna be on a page right now where it's just gonna be fire after fire after fire.
I hope so. I hope so. We keep talking about it. Hopefully, this is their turnaround right here.
Yeah, man, I can't freaking wait. Can't wait.
Definitely. Definitely.
But I know that our next thing we had was a random question or something. So Tyler, what was that all about?
Yeah, so it's a hypothetical question I wanted to say for the podcast. Not too exciting, but something I thought would be fun to discuss and see your thoughts on. I saw this video today of a random golf tournament. I don't even know which one or who was even golfing in it, but I saw that there was some guy in the crowd heckling like any person does at sporting events, and this guy was about to put one in on the green, decent shot for any professional golfer. And guy in the crowd goes, "Oh, I could hit that shot. You better hit it," or something like that. And so the guy says, the golfer says, "All right, you think you could do it?" Turns around, says, "Come over here. Use the putter and see if you can putt it in." Sure enough, he walks over the rope, lines it up, looks at it a few times, and drills it. And acts like and celebrates, like he just won the whole tournament. The crowd
Yeah,
loving him and
yeah.
stuff. Like he proved it right. I was just wondering what you think, because that was, most people could probably do that if they golfed. But what would be a sport if a heckler did that, that there is no shot they would be able to complete that task? Like I'm saying, like say a heckler said to like Derrick Henry at the goal line, "Oh, I could run it in from here," and he turned around and said, "Come on, you try and run it in." Maybe people could do that. What would be a sport or a scoring play or some sort of feat in a sport where there's like, sir, no matter how confident you are not doing that,
It's 100% baseball,
right?
and there's no if and but about it.
Yeah,
You know, football, yeah, like I feel like I've heard this thing so many times where can an average person get a yard in a game?
yeah,
Yeah, 100% because you could fall forward and your O lineman can just get you the yard. Like
exactly.
I've seen it happen multiple times. Like you
I
could
could
be a
get a
normal
yard.
man.
Yeah,
Like I think I could get a yard.
so do I.
But when they boo the absolute crap out of Harper and call him overrated and he goes up the next at bat and hits a fucking three
Yeah,
decker bomb,
yeah,
like no, you couldn't do that.
no,
I don't care how good at baseball you were when you were 5 years old.
yeah.
Like you're not doing that.
Exactly. I thought that too. Like basketball, if it's like, oh, I could hit that shot. Sure, there's some tough defenders, but if I get a wide open look in the corner, I'm giving it a decent look. I'll splash it on somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll
Uh,
fly go from deep. Yeah.
exactly. But hockey, you could probably make an argument for it to make a save. Sometimes I see these guys, they shoot right at the goalie.
Yeah.
Shoot it into my chest, I'll stop it. The only opposite of that would be tough is skating and scoring a goal. Would actually be
Mm,
probably really hard
yeah.
too. Because
But
the
there's some
skating
people that
part,
can skate though. Like there's some people who's like, oh, I could have made that, and it's because they probably could actually skate.
true, yeah. And I'm not, and again, the question is not what, can you not do? I'm not talking about score a goal. I'm talking about if you have a wide open one timer, are you scoring? Goalies on the complete opposite side screened and they miss the net. You're trained to do that. I'll go out there, I'll hit the net. I'm not talking about skating down on a breakaway, whatever. I'm not talking about trying to dunk or score against Jokic one on one. I'm talking about what task, easy task in sports could you be like? And the only one would be baseball.
No,
Is
100%.
I cannot get a hit here.
Yeah. No, because like I feel like in sports too, like I feel like it happens in basketball the most where people are like, ah, I could have made that. Like, oh, how did he miss that? Like, I could have made that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then I feel like in baseball, it, I feel like nobody's like, oh, I could have hit that. Like, you
yeah,
definitely get your like your random people that say that, but like 9 out of 10 times, it's like, oh, they suck.
yeah,
It's like, oh, why didn't he hit that ball? He just stinks. It's not like
yeah.
if I was there, I could have hit it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's never like, oh, I wouldn't be able to hit that down the middle. It's just like, yeah, he
Yeah,
stinks. He's in a slump.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
if some guy,
Because they know that that shit is hard as
exactly. Like you see these
fuck.
guys on like a wide open one timer in hockey, and it's like, I just saw them practice for 30 minutes and they can't even hit the net and give me a valid attempt. I see these guys, they always say, oh, they just made 500 threes in a row. I know the game's different, but if you're wide open in a corner or top of the key or something or a jumper, you got to drill that shit.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
want to hear,
100%.
So I think in baseball, you go up there and DeGrom's on the mound throwing 100 down the middle, you can give me 1,000 attempts. I don't know if I'll even make contact.
Yeah,
And
no.
we both played baseball our whole lives. So
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I do think though, if you gave me like 100 at bats, I think I could definitely get bat on ball. I think
yeah,
so.
I mean, I think I would definitely just choke and poke and at that
Joking
point and
poke.
hope for the best. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm hitting it out, but just to at least do a job, lay down
Hey,
a bunt.
that's what I'm saying. These guys can't even put bunts down nowadays. It's freaking disgusting.
Exactly, exactly. It's actually, what was it about? Jimmy just texted me. He wanted to put a quote on the podcast. Was it about bunting? It might have not even been about bunting. So this might have nothing. Oh, this was about the Knicks, so never mind. He texted after the Knicks lost game, I think it was three or
Three,
yeah,
the
game.
blowout.
Yeah, it was
Or not
no
the blowout, the
the close game
one.
when
Yeah, the
Brunson threw
close
up the
game. Yeah.
prayer at the end of the game.
Yes.
He sent a text and said, "You're the hero to all until you become the villain." Jimmy Durante on Brunson's shot selection, game four, or he meant game three. Throw it on the podcast. So Jimmy, you're welcome.
Jimmy,
But
you're welcome. Yeah, shout out Jimmy.
I thought it had something to do with baseball because he is a big proponent, like us too, that if you can't bunt, you should not be in the MLB to get the job done.
No.
But also another great point, not to talk about the Knicks, but Brunson was kind of throwing up a prayer there, looking for a foul on that three.
Yeah, he did get fouled, but it was before the shot.
Yeah,
Um, but I still thought that that was bad shot selecting. You had time.
so much
You,
time.
you could have passed one more time to get a clearer shot.
Yeah,
Um, I know you're down by three, but you wouldn't have been down by three if you guys could hit free throws. I digress because we said not a lot of Knicks slander because they're still in the middle.
exactly. Both are in different game six scenarios. The Rangers are not
Yes.
trying to get reverse swept. The
Yes.
Knicks are trying to finish the job.
Yes.
you know, Thoughts and prayers to both of them as this episode comes out. Let's hope the Rangers got it done, please.
Let's hope the Rangers and let's
Or
hope the
this will
Knicks
be
get
our
it done
last.
Friday night.
If the Rangers lose in seven, this will be our last episode of the Two Man Podcast. I thank you very much. But Carl, to stick to the sports, I know you had a fun game for us.
Yes, I did. So I'm really excited about this one. I kind of stole the idea from what TikTok I saw online, from the Freddy show. They were doing like a bunch of scenarios. They gave you like a certain amount of money, and you would get like a certain amount of categories, and you had to, pick. You got five choice in each category, and like each one was worth like a certain money amount, and you only had $15. So we're gonna do something very similar to that, where I'm going to Tyler, have you pick your starting lineup for a major league game. So what we're gonna do though is gonna be kind of yeah,
Let's do it.
let's
Let's
go,
do
let's
it.
go, let's go. I love to post it. So Tyler, what we are going to do is that I'm going to give you five players at each position. You have $35,
Jesus.
and the most money at each position that a player could be worth is $5.
Okay.
And there's going to be 10 rounds, right? Hold on, I think
I
10
think
or
it's
11.
11, right? We got to do a reliever too.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Unless I'm missing one. I think I just have 10 because I didn't do DH unless you want to do DH.
No, we won't do DH. We'll stick with 11. How many you say?
Yeah,
10?
well, 10. Yeah, yeah.
All right,
So it's 10 because you have,
all right,
the
we'll stick with 10. Let's stick with
so we
10.
got 10. So you got $35 and I'm gonna give you five people for each position and
Okay.
you can't go over. You can come
Okay.
under, but you can't go over.
Sounds
So
good.
say for example, you're at $34 and then the last position I give you is your starting pitcher. You have to take
Oof.
the guy for $1, no matter who it is.
All right, sounds good. So I got to be strategic. I got the calculator out. I'll keep track of my
Yes.
money, but I think on average I can only spend like $3. So I gotta go high in some, low in others. We'll see
Yep.
what we could do.
All right. So the very first position I am going to give you
Hmm.
is one that I think is kind of it's there's a lot of different spots you can pick. So even if you
Hmm.
end up picking a three or a two, I
Yeah.
I feel like it still might be good. So all these guys are kind of picked off of MLB top 10
Okay.
from MLB Network.
Sure.
So at the beginning of the year, so I tried to kind of change it depending on how I thought the players were playing currently.
Sure.
So I will start off with our first base category.
Okay.
So at $5, I have Freddie Freeman.
Hmm.
$4, I have Matt Olson. $3, we have Pete Alonso.
Okay.
$2, we have Christian Walker. And then
Mm.
$1, we have Brandon Belt.
Ooh. Okay. Some good options there. Obviously, Freddie Freeman, the cream of the crop. Olsen and Alonso struggling to start the year. But I'm going to treat this like a franchise, like I'm starting a franchise.
Exactly. I feel like that's the best way to go about it.
And
You want
I,
162 games. Like, what's the best team you're going to put together?
yeah, as much as I love the other three guys, I think I got to start off small, and I think I got to go Christian Walker. I'm going to go at
Wow.
$2. Shocking,
Okay.
probably. Pete's up there, love him. Matt Olson, also great. Freddie Freeman, love him. Dodger, not taking him. I think Christian Walker's pretty underrated, and I think is a steal at $2. Good contact hitter, a lot of underrated power. So I think that's a sneaky first base option that
That
people
is,
wouldn't take.
yeah, that is a good first baseman option. Honestly, dude, I personally probably would have taken Pete at three just because I love Pete.
Well, of course.
But I think that's a really good like strategy to do for this to start.
I just don't want to run out of money at the end to some key
Yeah.
positions, so I'm going to just I got to start off small and
All right, yeah.
happy
I
with it.
I think that is a good one. All right. So the next position I have for you is the other hot corner. So we started at first base. So
Okay.
the hot corner, third base.
Hmm.
So at $5, we have Manny Machado.
Wow.
At $4, we have Jose Ramirez.
Okay.
At $3, we have Austin Riley.
Ooh,
At
okay.
$2, we have Isaac Pedreas, and then at $1, we
Nice.
got Max Muncy.
Yeah.
So a lot of really good options here too.
Yeah,
So
that's a deep class for sure. Manny at $5, that's crazy. But I'm not gonna take him. He does have defense as well. But I will go. Who was the $3 option?
$3 option was Austin Riley.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with him for $3.
Honestly, man, I should have put him higher because I
Yeah,
think he's good. But hey, this is how the game's played.
I was about to
So
say you kind of helped me out a little bit there. He definitely should have been four, maybe even five. Nothing against Ramirez, the other guys, but you could have interchanged any of those guys. They're all good at their position. So,
yeah, so at after two rounds, you are at $5.
hmm.
And you still have $30 to go with a total of eight more categories. So
This
the
is
next
tough.
category we got, next position, is relief pitcher.
Oh
So
Jesus.
at $5, I have Devin Williams of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Sure.
$4, we got Edwin Diaz.
Okay.
$3, we have Evan Phillips of the Dodgers.
Hmm.
$2, we have Juan Duran from Minnesota. I don't know if I
Ooh. Yeah.
spelled his
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
right.
I think it's yeah.
And then number one, we got Jose Alberto from Philadelphia.
Ooh. Okay. Sounds good. There
This
was
one's
someone I was
also a
hoping.
deep class.
That is a deep class. Honestly, I was hoping you snuck Clay Holmes in there because he's had a very underrated season. I was wishing he was low, but I will take Johan Duran, which I think that's how you say it. I don't know if that's how you say it. One of us might be right.
Yeah.
Both might be wrong. But I'm gonna go with Duran at $2.
That's a really good pickup. Also, he might have the most electric
That's a
walk-in.
big reason I
Yeah.
picked him. His walk up starts with the Undertaker gongs, which is just the most
Yeah.
electric
Absurd.
entrance for a closer. I don't think it could be topped. I don't think
I
it could
mean
be
the
topped.
I love the trumpets, but just hearing the freaking dong of the Undertaker is just
Yeah,
absolutely
you're just
crazy.
saying the game's over because you're coming in. So I think
Yeah.
it's great. So
Yeah. Wild.
yeah. Oh God, I'm gonna run out of money here quick. One, two, three, four,
No, you're
five,
at
six.
no, you
Yeah.
got a lot of money.
Yeah.
You're only at $7.
Yeah. That's not bad. That's true.
Yeah. You're at $7. All right. Our next position is probably the most stacked position out here.
God bless.
We got our right field
Oof.
um market. So I tried to make it a little bit lesser towards the end for $1, but
Okay.
at $5 we got Ronald Acuna Jr.
Nice.
At $4 we got Juan Soto. At
Okay.
$3 we got George Springer.
Mm-hmm.
At $2 we got Starling Marte, and $1 we got Michael Conforto.
Ooh. Okay. A lot of good stuff in there, but oof, a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Uh, I think this is the first one I'm gonna spend big, and I'm gonna get the superstar. Not the superstar. I'll go the $4. I'll get Juan Soto.
Ooh,
I'll go Juan
okay.
Soto. Uh, Acuna has had a great career. Does it all. 5 total player for sure.
Yeah.
Soto, I got to take him for the dollar less because he is almost, well, not almost, but is a 5 total player pretty much as well with putting up similar numbers to him. So I gotta think budget wise, but I think they're both pretty similar players.
Yeah, I mean, the only really thing is you're getting just as good as a bat. You're losing some speed and losing some
Hmm.
defense, but he's electric, man. And he's been having a great season right now too. So,
Exactly. Got to get some lefties in there too. Anyway, switch
yeah,
up
yeah.
the lineup.
All right. So our next position we got is left field. So we got Yonder Alvarez,
Hmm.
Brandon Nimmo,
Okay.
uh Lar Newt Bar. I freaking love saying his name. Jock Peterson at $2, and at $1 Austin Slater.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Not Austin Slater. He is the bane of my existence right now. This is left.
Left field, yeah. I know we spoke about Austin Slater in center field, but I found another good center fielder, so I'm
Okay,
moving.
sounds good. Yeah, left field, definitely not Slater. He stinks. Um, God, I have a lot of power hitters. So I need to think about a lineup here.
You are currently at $11.
Gotcha. Oh, Jesus. I'm about to end the episode early. Um, I'm stuck between Jock and Nimmo. I think I'll get I'll get a med on here. Someone who's gonna get on base.
Let's
I'll go
freaking
I'll go
go. You got a
Nimmo.
leadoff hitter. Let's go.
Exactly. Leadoff hitter, who has some pop, likes to get on base, should steal more, and not terrible if he's in left field. So I'm gonna go with Brendan Nimmo there. $3.
That's a good bet. Now we are at $14.
Not bad. Not bad.
All right, so we got one, two, three, four, five more positions. We're halfway there, and you're coming in under right now.
Yeah, it's looking
Um,
good so far.
so it's looking good. So my next position we got is center field. So at $5, we got Aaron Judge. At $4, we got Michael Harris.
Hmm.
Um, at $3, we got TG Freedy or
No
Frieda,
thanks.
Frieda. I
I
don't know
think
how you,
Friedel. Maybe it's an L. Might be
Friedel.
Friedel.
Yeah, it might be Friedel. Yeah,
Won't.
TJ Friedel.
Mm-hmm.
And then $4, we got Harrison Bader. And then $1. Oh, sorry, I said $4. At
I understood.
$2, we
Yeah.
got Harrison
Yeah.
Bader, and $1 we got Kevin Kiermaier.
Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. I'll splurge again on the center fielders, and I'll go the cream of the crop. I'll go Judge. I'll go Judge at five.
Wow. The first number five.
Yeah,
The
I
first number five.
I have
That's
some money
crazy.
to spend, and he is just a guy who not only can hit some homers, but can hit for contact and drive in runs. So if I got a guy at the top of the order, I mean, my outfield could be my one, two, three hitters. Judge,
That's crazy.
Nimmo,
Yeah.
Soto, Judge is a nice top of the order right there. Get him in, get him over, or get on, get over, get in.
I
So
love it. I love it. I love
I'm
it.
liking it so far, and I still got some money to spend.
So
I can do $4 a position. I actually
you
set myself up nicely
yeah,
here.
you set yourself up really well.
Yeah.
Our second base is our next category. So at $5, I got Jose Altuve.
Okay.
At $4, I got Ketel Marte.
Okay.
$3, we got Luis Arias.
Okay.
At $2, we got Zach Geloff. And at
Okay.
$1, we got Brandon Rogers
All
from
right.
Colorado.
I'm gonna go Luis Arez at
Number
I think a
three.
steal at
Yes,
three
it's a
dollars.
steal at $3.
I saw his numbers recently between his first 600 games compared to Tony Gwynn's 600 games, identical. Literally down to the batting
Really?
average, the home runs, the RBIs. The only thing that was different was steals. Tony Gwynn had a lot more, but for them to just be, when you think of the greatest hitters of all time, Tony Gwynn's up there. Arez having the same numbers as him, I'm fine taking him at $3.
That dude, that's a steal.
A
Steal.
steal,
And
absolute
at
steal.
$21 with three categories left, you were sitting pretty, my friend. You
I
should have made
know.
this harder. We should have done $30.
Yeah, I know. I honestly didn't think I was gonna have this much money, but it's kind of working out well.
Hey, hey, this is how you play the game, man. We're picking some absolute studs.
I'm working well here.
All right. So, the next position we have is arguably one of the most important positions on the field, and that is shortstop. So at the $5 position, we have Mookie Betts.
Wow.
At the number 4, we got Francisco Lindor. At the $3, we got Willie Adames.
Oh, Jesus.
At $2, we got Javier Baez. And at $1, we got the man of the people, Tyler Wade.
The man of the people. Unbelievable. When you said most important position, I thought you would just, line it up to say catcher. And you absolutely just threw a curveball and said shortstop. So already started off the category not strong for me. Kind of pissed me off. But I don't really like a lot of those options besides the $5 option. So I'm gonna go with Betts at $5 because
Wow.
I mean that guy can just do it all. It's just a
Yeah.
power hitter, contact hitter, and Lindor I have a very love-hate relationship with. And the other guys just didn't really do it for me. So
Well, that's a great bet. He's honestly the best player in that category. I could have
mhm.
picked a bunch of different people, tried to keep it, a little, bad if you were down a lot of money
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I tried to give you the heavy hitters first,
totally
and you
get it.
were surprisingly under budget for most of it. So, now I gotta say, um, we are finally at probably the leader, the captain
Thank
of the
you.
field,
Thank you.
the catching position.
Thank you.
Another stacked position. So we have at basically with two positions left, you are at $19. So you could go pretty much top tier at either position. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I think you could get some pretty good players out of these. So I'm gonna start with at $5, we got Adley Rutschman.
Mm,
$4, we got Will Smith. At $3, we got Logan O'Hoppe.
hmm
At $2, we got Cal Riley. And at $1, we got Austin Wells.
Gotcha. Gotcha. How much money do I have?
You
I'm at
have
21.
you have
No, I think it's less
oh
than that. I think I
you
have
have
eight
no,
dollars.
sorry, you have $9. Sorry,
Even
$9.
even
How
better.
much did I say? I think I said something crazy.
I
But
think you said I was at $21, so I had like
oh
14 to
sorry,
go. But
you have 26. Sorry, you're at
there we go.
$26.
Okay, that makes more sense. So $9
Yeah.
to go. Give me Adley Rushman. Give me the switch hitter. Give me the guy behind the dish.
He's having a great year right now too.
Exactly. Give me the rising star. I'll take him for $5 and leave whoever wants to pitch with this great offense for $4 or whatever. Absolutely can do it.
So now we are at
Four
thir
dollars is gonna be like Luis Severino.
$31 with $4 left to spend. So let me tell you who you passed up with. So our
Hmm.
final position is our starting pitcher,
Sure.
the guy who's chucking it out, first. He in the home games, he's starting the team off right.
Hmm.
And Tyler, you passed up on having Garrett Cole on the mound at
Ooh,
$5.
that's.
But I gotta say, the next couple of guys are also pretty good options.
Mhm.
So at $4, which is the highest you can go, if you want to stay on budget,
Sure.
we got Zach Wheeler.
Oh, okay.
Then at $3, we got Logan Webb.
Oof. Oof.
At $2, we got Sonny Gray. And at $1, we got Zach Eflin.
Wow, I could have even had Sonny Gray, who has like a sub one ERA this year at
Yeah,
$2, which would have been a
yeah.
steal. And I do love Webb, but I won't show bias, and I'll just stay exactly on budget, and I'll pick Zach Wheeler for $4 because
Wow.
he is just an outstanding player, ex-Met, and I miss him.
I miss him
So
too, man. But he always just kills the Mets now that
I'm
he
able to
pitches against
draft,
us.
and I think I absolutely drafted a stud team right here.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
Let's
this is
let's
unbelievable right
let's
here.
let's go through that, man, dude. All right. So the first at your first pick, we at $2, you had Christian Walker.
Yep,
You passed up on the likes of Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson, and Pete Alonso.
yep,
At third base, you ended up taking Austin Riley, which I think was a steal at the number three,
definitely was.
at the $3 spot.
Yep,
The relief pitcher, you got another steal at $2 is Juan Duran,
yep.
right? Is how
I
you
think it's
say it?
Johan, but I could be
Johan?
wrong.
Oh,
I don't know actually. I
it's
actually don't know.
definitely Johan. It's definitely got to be
I think
Johan.
it is,
It
but
100% is Johan.
yep,
Ah, another one that Carl can't say. So Johan Duran at $2. Then right field, you didn't take the absolute break the bank guy, but you got another great player at $4 for Juan Soto.
love it.
Left field, you took another $4 at Brandon Nimmo, the Met. At center field, you took a $5 Aaron Judge, which I think was a really good pick. You went back to almost back $5 players,
Hmm.
I'll skip over the second base. In the shortstop, you took, Mookie Betts, who was also $5. Passing up on Francisco Lindor, going cheaper, Willie Adames.
Yeah.
And then second base, you passed up on two really good second basemen, but I think you honestly probably got the best out of the three
Yeah.
at $3. You got
Hmm.
Luis Arias, who, like you said, got Tony Gwynn
It's
stats.
basically a modern day Tony Gwynn.
Yeah. And then you picked the absolute stud catcher at $5, Adley Rutschman. And
Hmm.
then finally to top it off, your starting pitcher, you got Zach Wheeler. Dude, I think you have a really solid team. So now, how many games do you think? 162 games. How many games you win?
I was literally just about to say if I have these guys all for 10 years, I created a dynasty. I get at least 4 rings. If everyone stays healthy, I'm playing franchise mode, no injuries, no salary cap. I'm getting at least 4 or 5 rings
Fortress no
here.
salary cap.
And and if it was just a 162 game season, I mean, I think I win easily 105, 110 games. And that's being
That's
generous
awesome.
because I mean, these guys, a lot of these guys are the cream of the crop and they will all do their job as they should. And if it's based on some of these guys' numbers this year so far, we're in good shape. This could be the all-star team combined this year, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, man, it could be. It could
So
be. Hopefully Nimmo gets there. That'd be sick.
that would be, but that was a lot of fun, and I think I had a good strategy, and I think I came out on top. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll
you definitely did. I
I,
think you're definitely if we had a playoff series, I think you're definitely winning it. You're
absolutely.
raising
I'll
that
have to
trophy
quiz
every
you
year.
like this on a future show. I guess
Yes.
maybe get some different players in there and see how you do too. But that was a lot of fun, and unfortunately, all we have time for this week's episode.
Yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed another episode of the Two Man Podcast, episode number 30, Hank Lundqvist episode. So let's go New York sports. Let's
Yep.
go Knicks. Let's go Rangers. Let's hope we win. By the time you guys hear this, I hope we are in stout, just screaming our freaking heads off.
Hopefully.
And I hope you all have a great weekend. And let's go New York sports.
Exactly. Keep liking, keep following, keep liking the pages, keep buying merch, and hopefully this isn't our last episode if the Rangers and Knicks want to win. So peace out, guys.
Yeah, and go like our TikTok BBL Drizzy baby. BBL Drizzy,
Peace.
BBL Drizzy.